Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight, or today, depending on where you live and when you watch this, was Friday Night Smackdown. Now, I do have to say that it wasn't a bad show. I won't say that. But the middle part of this show, good 45 minutes of this show in the middle, did bore me. I was kind of bored, kind of out of it, kind of just doing some other things, like working on graphics, getting Kevin Owens, Randy Orton graphic and stuff put together for their WrestleMania match. And I'm just like, yeah, this is kind of just meh. But we started good, had a good opening match and a good opening segment. We ended really good, had a big brawl at the end with all guys pointing at the Mania sign. So yeah, it started good and ended good. There was a good 45 minutes or so in the middle, maybe even a full hour, that was just kind of there. It was just okay. So I will say that. But there were some good things on this show. We got some build for WrestleMania. We got some build for next week's show. 2 title matches announced and so much more. Because with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to support us in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to emotes and emojis you can use in the chat in the live chat, or the comments in the live chat. You get access to our graphics packages, our graphics tutorials, and you also get access to our watch-alongs and Q&A videos. Finally, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into Fortnite. Maybe you're like, I haven't tried the new season yet. This weekend's a supercharged double XP weekend. Gonna have to jump in there. So use this code PWU NLIMITED when getting that new battle pass in Fortnite if you haven't already. We'll be doing a Fortnite stream this weekend, most likely, if not later tonight, with that double charged weekend. When does the double charged weekend start, actually? Weekend plans. We've got you play Fortnite, get 5 supercharged XP levels. Event ends. Oh, so it's from now till the 24th. Gotcha. And then also remember, like I said, if you want to get some other things, then we get that Shohei Ohtani skin. We got a bunch of Square Enix sales, Tomb Raider, Just Cause. A bunch of those are on sale as well. Use our code PWUNLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Let me turn this fan on real fast. It's getting a little warm in this room. We'll talk some Smackdown. I'm going to butcher this name. Bologna? Lagna, so how it's spelled, but it's Bologna or something like that. I should know this. I'm Italian. My mom was born in Italy. I should know how to say this. Bologna. I don't know. They're in Italy. And great crowd. I will say that. Great crowd. Randy Orton opens up the show. And I can't remember if this is his second week in a row or second of the last 3 shows. Because I know there was like, it may have been the show right after Chamber, maybe? Orton opened. Not last week, but the week before. Can't really remember. Regardless, Randy Orton comes out. Crowd's chanting this song. I hear voices in my head. They cancel me. They understand. And before he can say a word, well, out comes Kevin Owens. And so Kevin Owens makes his way out to the ring, or out on the stage, actually, and the crowd's booing him. He knows that Randy wants to fight, but maybe they shouldn't fight. Maybe they should do something else. He wants to apologize first and foremost. He says, Orton, Randy, you didn't deserve what you got. Cody, he deserved it. Sammy, he deserved it, but not you. Kevin said that Orton should know that it's, his anger that made him do that and makes him do stupid things, before saying that he could forgive Randy for picking Cody over him. He then said, speaking of leaving the past behind, about last week when I saved Carmelo Hayes. I saved him from you, but I also saved you from yourself. Owens offered the idea of, hey, how about the two of us do what we almost did before you got hurt last time with the tag titles. We were on a roll as a tag team. Let's go to WrestleMania and challenge for the tag team titles. Randy starts doing the Randy Orton, like, kind of mad, like, mullet over, like, thinking thing. And he goes, I like the idea of WrestleMania, but you're a little wrong there. He said, WrestleMania, it's going to be you and me, and I'm going to punch you in the head. Basically, Randy said, I want to fight you. I don't want to team with you. And then he goes, for so many weeks now, you say you're fight Owens fight, but you're more bitch Owens bitch. Bitch Owens bitch. And he's just like, Orton continues to run down Owens some more before offering the match instead of the team. Instead of teaming, he offers him a match, a chance for Randy to face Kevin at WrestleMania and kick his head clean off his shoulders. Eventually, this match does officially get announced later in the show. Not long later in the show. Now, we've got something here. Let's pull this up on the screen. Let's pull this up on the screen. We've always got these Fight Owens fight shirts, right? But Randy tonight said something. Bitch, Owens bitch. Well, we've got you. You want a bitch Owens bitch shirt? We got you. And we'll put this in the live chat right now. Get your bitch. We got it for you, folks. Why is it not showing? Bingo. The link is in the live chat. I'll put it in the description as well. If you want to get your bitch Owens bitch shirt. Kevin Owens has been acting like a little bitch for the last couple of months. Link is in the live chat and in the description of the YouTube video. If you do want to go check that out, we'll leave that up there for a little bit longer. Get your bitch Owens bitch shirt now. As we move forward, Orton's music plays, and we head to Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest from last week and all what went down with them. Back at ringside, Damian Priest makes his way out to the ring for a tag match where he will team with Jimmy Uso against Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura. We have shots of Bologna, however you say it, at night, and they take us to ringside as Shinsuke Nakamura enters the ring. So everybody is down in the ring and the match does begin. Drew McIntyre did get a good pop from the crowd. Priest makes good on his on-site promise by heading up the ramp to go after McIntyre. Remember what he said, whenever I see you, we're going to fight on site as soon as I see you. The two brawl down the ramp before Nakamura intervenes, only for both opponents to get dropped with a Jimmy Uso dive. Jimmy and Damian then dap it up before bringing Drew back into the ring, finally getting the match underway. Thank you, Trey. If you like them, pick one up. We got them shirts, we got tank tops, we got hoodies, stickers, mugs, you name it. All available at pwunlimited.co/shop or tinyurl.com/bitchowens. As far as the matches go, we're finally underway, and it's McIntyre and Uso. Jimmy's still having the upper hand. until Drew takes him down with a suplex. It props Jimmy up against the ropes and does more damage to him before tagging in Nakamura, who runs wild on Uso before bringing him to the outside. He slams Jimmy against the announce table as a brief muting of the audio indicates, well, something they don't like for later on to the U.S. crowd. Shinsuke brings Jimmy back into the ring for a near fall. The crowd's chanting his name as he sends Uso to the corner for a tag to McIntyre, who lays in a big chop. He locks in a modified chin lock on Uso, mocking Priest, saying you can't get him, before Jimmy finally does break free of the hold. Drew then knocks Priest off the apron before Jimmy can actually make the tag, though. Jimmy then gets back to his feet, and he and Drew trade some strikes, with Drew taking him back down to the mat as they continue chanting for Uso. A little bit later on in the match, Priest finally does make his way into the ring, and he grabs McIntyre by the wrist and goes old school, only for Nakamura to fight back and go for a Kinshasa. Well, sorta. He gets clotheslined by Priest. Now, Priest goes for the old school, and Tessitore brings up how that's his mentor's move, The Undertaker. When the hell has Undertaker ever mentored Damian Priest? Let me know. Chat. So Drew immediately gets involved before Jimmy sends him out of the ring with a super kick. Back in the ring, Priest takes Nakamura down with the South of Heaven chokeslam and pins him. To pick up the victory, Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso pick up the win. But that ain't everything. Drew is having none of it. He blindsides Priest after the match before attacking him on the mat. Priest tries to fight back, but is sent to the ropes by McIntyre, who sets him up for a Claymore to approval of the crowd. He hits him with that Claymore, and the crowd pops big. So it's like, another international crowd for the heels. This was like last week, Monday on Raw. The international crowd on Monday, where were they? Brussels? Really like the heels. I will say that. We go backstage. Braun Strowman is pumping himself up, pumping a little pump, getting a little sweat on for his first match. And LA Knight talks to him about keeping an eye out due to the numbers advantage that Fatu's going to have. Strowman lets the United States champion know that Nick Aldis has stated whoever wins this match tonight between Braun and Fatu, well, you get a shot at the U.S. title. LA Knight acknowledges this by going, yeah, and then walking off. So they get a look back at the big brawl last week between Tiffany Stratton. I saw the TS and thought Trish Stratus. Just damn dyslexia. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Then they tell us that we're going to have a interview with both women side by side, but they're not in the same room. After a commercial break, get some more shots of the city as they're setting up for the interview. The champ is asked the first question as far as what are your thoughts on everything going down, having to face Charlotte at WrestleMania, this, that, and so forth. And she goes, well, and then Charlotte goes, excuse me, the queen always speaks first. She pokes fun at Stratton for her path to the title and addresses everyone in the division being compared to her. Tiffany talks about Charlotte being her biggest supporter back in the day, with Flair stating that she wasn't going to let someone take her spot at the top of this division. I can't speak. Tiffany makes a claim that Charlotte, quote, finds the hottest thing going and then puts some water on it. And then this is just off the rails at this point. Because then Charlotte says something, she's like, oh, really? That's what I do? Huh? What do I do? She goes, you just find the hottest thing and put water on it. You find the hottest thing and put water on it. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? You find the hottest thing and put water on it? Does it mean you find somebody that's getting more over than you, and so you try to put it out? Is that what she means? Find the hottest thing and put water on it? I think that's what she means. Charlotte goes, you're all mad because how I made my challenge. What did you want me to do? Come down there, raise your hand, slap your butt, and say good job? No, that's not how this works. They start yelling back and forth at each other, and then it just ends. Cool. Not all that great, if I'm going to be completely honest. This was really not good. Not that good at all. So back at ringside, Jacob Fatu makes his way out for his big match against Braun Strowman. We got some hype for WrestleMania week in Las Vegas before heading back to ringside, where Jacob Fatu awaits Strowman. Strowman does come out to a nice pop from the crowd in Italy. We get a look back at what's gone down between these two in recent weeks and months and so forth, and the match begins. The two big men circle each other in the ring. Strowman sends Fatu to the corner, laying in some heavy offense until Jacob Fatu turns it around with some shoulder charges of his own. He backs away to rush at Strowman, who takes him down with a clothesline. Fatu gets to the corner. Fatu gets to the corner, and he hits a boot to the face of Braun, who responds by sending the Samoan werewolf to the outside. I cannot read and speak today. He quickly brings Fatu back into the ring. There's a hammer throw, sending Jacob hard into the corner as the crowd chants for Strowman. Fatu escapes to the outside as Braun looks for the train attack around the ring, only to be sent into the announce table by Fatu as we get another mute of the audio. I guess the crowd said something. I don't know. Jacob continues the attack, but is soon sent into the ring steps by Strowman, who rolls into the ring to, quote, conduct the song chant still ringing through the crowd. Braun leaves the ring to bring Jacob back in. Fatu fights back and drops him on the mat with a drop kick to the knee before following up with a clothesline off the ropes. Fatu then goes to work on the head and neck of Strowman as the crowd's chanting, ole, 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 Fatu, Fatu, ole, 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 Fatu, Fatu. But Strowman does finally break free of all of this and gets a little bit of the advantage here. Strowman fights back until he gets dropped once again to the mat by Fatu, who follows us up with the running senton. Braun crawls to the corner and gets caught with a running hip attack by Fatu, who sets up for something, but is taken down by Strowman. Both men are now back up on their feet, with Strowman laying into Fatu before sending him to the canvas with a thumb strike. Fatu then rolls out of the ring. This gives Braun an opening to land the Express this time around the ring, nearly launching Fatu over the announce table. He brings Fatu back into the ring, and he looks to have the match won when Tama Tonga rushes down onto the apron. This is followed by Solo Sikoa running in and basically just beating down Braun, with the ref going, well, I gotta call it, DQ. Strowman wins. Strowman wins because Solo beat up Braun, attacked him during the match. There we go. Ref calls the DQ, which means Braun Strowman will be challenging LA Knight next week on Smackdown for the WWE United States Championship. And speaking of the United States Champion, Fatu looks less than pleased at what has just happened, as if, he realized, what, you just cost me my title shot, god damn it. They'll start beating down Strowman until LA Knight makes his way down for the save. He and Strowman eventually clear the ring of the trio, and we get the announcement officially next week. It will be Knight defending the U.S. title against Strowman. I guess the match will be okay. Highly expect Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and probably Solo Sikoa all to interrupt and get involved, and yeah. So, I can see the bullshit. Backstage, we hear from Liv Morgan ahead of her big match with Jade Cargill, before heading back to ringside as Piper Niven made her way out, accompanied by Chelsea Green and Alba Fire for her match with Zelina Vega. Now, I will say, Zelina had a little bit of a nip slip. Zelina did have a little nip slip. They had to black out the screen for a moment. She was doing that octopus stretch or whatever you call it, where she's on the back of Piper, pulling at the arm, and she's got the legs wrapped around her, and she's like ranking on her, and a little bit of titty pop out. Whoop! So we did have a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction here in this match. The match starts off somewhat slow as the two trade strikes early on, with Niven taking Zelina to the mat, as the quiet crowd starts chanting for Zelina ever so slightly. Then, all of a sudden, they just start chanting, "We want Chelsea. We want Chelsea." So, yeah, they want Chelsea Green. Vega turns things around, catching Niven in a sleeper hold until Piper sends her back down. The crowd seemingly is in their own little world here, couple other chants. I couldn't really tell what they were, though. And they come back around for Vega. Piper then throws her into the corner, mounts some punches. This is stopped when Niven sends her down hard onto the mat. Where was I? We go to a break. When we come back, we see Niven continuing to work on Vega while the crowd is singing some sort of a song. I don't even know. Zelina tries to fight back, but is sent down by Niven as the crowd slowly gets back into the match. Niven continues to lay in some strikes and more "We Want Chelsea" chants before we fade to black again. Piper then gets a near fall before Vega rolls away, only to be sent to the corner, which led to a Secret Hervis getting involved a little bit. Niven firmly is in control as she slams Vega head first into the turnbuckle and then slams her against the third turnbuckle for a near fall. Niven continues the attack with a $1 million dream before Zelina breaks free, only to be dropped hard with a headbutt by Niven. Piper mocks the crowd before going after Vega in the corner. At one point, this is where Piper slams her into the corner to break the hold, the octopus hold. And that's where we get the little screen goes black for a second because titty pop out. You see the nipple. If you know, you know. You saw it, you saw it. Zelina then gets slammed down. Niven scores a close 2 count. No. Zelina gets slammed down but keeps the hold on with a backslide. She scores a 2 count on Niven, bringing Piper to the two then get to their feet. And Zelina hits her with a meteor in the corner. She gets to the turnbuckle and lands a leaping meteor, so a second one. But it's only good for a near fall as Niven kicks out. Vega then starts to build up some momentum as the crowd gets louder and louder for her. Especially when she starts to mock and yell at Chelsea Green. And then she knocks Chelsea off the apron at one point as well. Crowd actually kind of popped for that a little bit. She then sends Alba Fire away as well before hitting a 619 on Niven. But gets laid out with a spear as Niven puts her away and pins her to pick up the victory. Not a bad match, but it's like, if you missed it, you missed it. Nothing great here, I will say. Nothing really all that great. But other than the nip slip, nothing was bad. Like, everything else was fine. Moving forward. Crowd almost go. Where was I? Oh, moving forward. We come back from a commercial break. Commentary addresses the big summer Europe tour leading into Clash in Paris. Then we get a look back of Cody Rhodes and John Cena from last Monday's Raw. We're reminded that the undisputed WWE Championship will be on the line between the two, as well as they finally announce for officially Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Backstage, Jade Cargill promises to take down Liv Morgan tonight before looking for Naomi afterwards. We then head to ringside for our next match, which is Jade and Liv. So, I'm going to pull this up on the screen. Let me grab this image here. We get another one of those 4 vignette videos. But this one was a little different, where we saw a little more stuff in the video, but then at the end, it does like a Wyatt kind of hook, where it's like cuts really quick, but you see something. Let me pull this up on the screen, this image here. Now it's not going to want to go, is it? Here we go. We saw this. I'm not 100% sure exactly what this is. It flashed, so we got the 4, and then we saw a couple other things in the side, and then it goes, what? Not like the same Wyatt sound, but it was kind of similar. So is this not Aleister Malachi Black, and it's a Wyatt's tease instead? But what's the 4? What is the 4 for? It's just weird because they did the Wyatt trope where at the very end it cut, but you see something flash on the screen, and this is what we saw. I have no clue what this is. I have absolutely no clue what this is. Then we had Jade versus Liv. Jade gets the upper hand right away, sending Morgan to the outside with a boot to the face. Cargill leaves the ring, confronting Rodriguez until Liv blindsides her, only to be sent into the ring by Jade instead. Morgan starts to fight back until Jade blocks a code breaker, landing a fall-away slam that forces Liv to take a breather on the outside. Raquel then walks with Liv up the ramp, kinda, as they're like, yeah, nope, we don't need this. Bye-bye. See ya. We don't have to deal with you. Yet, Jade is having none of this as she runs up there and brings Morgan back down. They get back in the ring. They go at it a little bit. Raquel hops up on the apron. This distracts her, Jade, that is, enough for Liv to kind of get the advantage. Liv then takes out Jade, takes her down, takes her out. And then she starts randomly just posing with her tag title. She goes on one of the ropes. Yeah. She goes to the other side. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Like, what? I guess she's mocking Jade because Jade never technically lost the tag titles, but Liv and Raquel have them now, I guess is the thing. Liv then sets Jade up in the ropes for more damage before hitting a drop kick to the back. Jade then gets to her feet, only to be dropped down with a drop down for a near fall by Morgan as the crowd continues to show some level of support for Jade Cargill. There's a chin lock applied by Liv as we fade to black, go to quick break. When we come back from that break, we see Jade fighting to her feet, only for Morgan to bring her back down to keep the chin lock locked in even tighter. At one point, Cargill does get free, and she lands some strikes on Liv, sending her into the corner, and sets up for a hip attack before hitting a spine buster, dropping Liv onto the mat. For the first time in the match, the chant finally becomes more clear, and they're chanting, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, as Jade drives Morgan down hard for a close 2. Naomi rushes through the crowd and hops up on the apron. Naomi looked like a badass here. I love all the caution tape on her gear, but then the hair, the way the hair was too, she looked cool. Really cool. And this does distract Jade. She confronts Jade, who blocks a Oblivion attempt. Jade then goes after Naomi and takes a shot to the head with the tag titles as the referee's not paying attention. Naomi then gets away. Liv hits the Oblivion and pins Jade to pick up the victory. So, Liv Morgan can say she is the first person in WWE to pin Jade Cargill. There we go. She's the first person to pin Jade Cargill. No celebration here as the tag champs leave and Naomi goes after Cargill. And the two are beating each other up, but Naomi does get the better of it. She throws Jade onto the apron and then shoves her off the apron. Kind of, we're supposed to think like she shoved her off that loading bay onto the truck or onto the car. Well, she shoved her off the apron and she goes face first right into the announce table. Referees then check on her. Naomi mocks Jade. She does the like all the poses that Jade likes to do, you know. She does all those and she's mocking the crowd and she's mocking and laughing at Jade. Not bad. Not bad at all. I like this. I thought this was really good. And Naomi looked really good here. Naomi looked like a badass. Naomi came off strong here. It's like, hey, you may have got the best of me last week, Jade, but I ain't no bitch. So we get a look back at McIntyre and Priest from earlier in the night, and they take us backstage where McIntyre is being interviewed. He says, you know, he's looking to finish things with Damian Priest. He says, Priest is as tough as he is stupid. Saying he'll know where to find Drew next week when SmackDown heads to London. As he walks away, McIntyre stares down the arriving Seth Rollins. As he heads towards the venue, Rollins reigns as CM Punk, set to be under one roof later tonight. Out next comes the new WWE Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. We had to look back at the Street Profits winning the titles last week and becoming the new champs. And we get chance of You Deserve It as the Profits are in the ring. Ford introduces himself once again as the new, and for the first time in 4 years, Tag Team Champions. And I go, oh shit. It's really been 4 years since they've won gold? God damn. I haven't realized that. Crowd pops. He says over the last 4 years, there's been a lot of doubt, but we're holding these titles now. So that all fades away. Crowd once again chants you deserve it. Ford says that he came to realize over the last 4 years that he can always believe in his brother. And the two hug until, well, Legado del Fantasma comes out. Fantasma, Fantasma. Santos addresses the crowd and the Prophets in Italian and then in English, talking about his guys, Los Garza, looking to get a shot at the tag titles. And this brings out, well, the true #1 contenders. Yes, boy. Pretty Deadly. Who remind Legado del Fantasma, hey, can we beat you guys to become #1 contenders? So, step off. Legado del Fantasma refuses to step aside as Santos tells the duo to stay out of our business. Ford then says, hold on. Pretty hefty. You do get yourself a shot, but we don't mind fighting Legado del Fantasma. Basically, they're saying, hey, we'll take on Los Garza. Titles aren't on the line. Pretty Deadly, you will get your shots, though. So they all oblige. Referee comes down, and we get Street Profits versus Los Garza in a non-title match. Pretty good match. I like this match. This was a good match. So we start things off with Angel and Angelo. And, the two go at it, with Dawkins sending Garza into the corner before Angel fights back, and we go to a break. We then see a new Rey Fenix vignette, as Fightful has reported today, and I'll read their report here. The Phoenix is officially signed with WWE. Yes, you heard me right. Fightful does write the following. Phoenix is officially signed. Fightful Select has confirmed. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion after vignettes aired during last week's SmackDown hinting at him. But Fightful has confirmed that Phoenix has officially signed with the company. The plan as of now is to debut him on the SmackDown brand, though we haven't heard when. Phoenix was getting his medical done in recent weeks. Phoenix procured his release from AEW recently, and we're told that he isn't expected to speak heavily on his falling out there, same as Penta. The two were in contact with WWE last year, leading to their relationship with AEW souring. So there we go. It has been officially confirmed and not announced by WWE. I mean, you could say it's been announced because they got the vignettes, and there's no questioning that's Phoenix in the videos. But Phoenix is signed and will be going to SmackDown opposite of his brother on Raw, so they aren't going to be together, at least at first. We ain't getting the dang Lucha Bros, which I'm all for. Why put them together now? I mean, yeah, it'd be cool, but we got plenty of tag teams. Let them do their thing. Freaking Penta and Braun Breaker for the IC title is going to be amazing. And if that's a Mania match, oh boy, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Let Penta do what he's doing as the top mid-card guy on on Raw, going for the IC title. And let Phoenix come over here. Maybe we get Phoenix and LA Knight, or Phoenix and whoever's the IC champ or US champ in a little bit. So, yeah. Now, we don't know exactly when Phoenix is coming in. Rumor is before Mania, but after this European tour. But I feel like unless they have a plan for him at WrestleMania, just wait till like the SmackDown after Mania. Anyways, we get back to the match. Ford had tagged in. He goes after Angel until Berto makes the tag. He lays into Ford before tagging Angel back in for a double team move before Garza throws a shirt at Dawkins for the dramatic distraction. At one point, Berto brings Angel back into the ring, keeping him away from Ford until Angelo starts fighting back. Berto sends him into Garza. Berto sends him into the corner of him and Garza, and they get a little double team on him. The ref's distracted as Angel lays in some strikes. Dawkins eventually gets in and starts fighting back, only to be dropped by Angel for a near fall. Tag to Berto, who mocks Ford before landing a shot on Dawkins for a 2 of his own. The scoop slam by Berto, followed by a standing moonsault to pop the crowd. Tag to Angel, who knocks Ford off the apron before going after Dawkins, who hits a right hand before Garza gets him in a gory special before Berto tags in. There's a Garza special as Berto hits a blockbuster off of a springboard and gets good near fall off of it. Crowd starts chanting for Tez. excuse me, as they were looking for Dawkins to tag in. He finally does, and the crowd is firmly behind Ford as he fights from the corner, sending Humberto to the mat and gets a 2 off of it. Angel gets tagged in and hits a drop kick. Dawkins tags in and gets knocked down as well, but then takes a spine buster for his troubles. Before he's joined in by Berto on the outside. Santos then hops up on the apron, but to no avail, as Dawkins goes up and over the ropes for a dive. There's a blind tag by Ford, who gets the drop on Angel for a frog splash and pins him to pick up the victory. So the tag champs do win the non-title match. Big pop for the Street Profits winning here. Crowd loved it. Crowd was into most of this match, so that's a good thing. Afterwards, we see a car, an SUV, pulling into the parking lot, and out comes the wise man, Paul Heyman. We go to commercial break. So we get back from the break, and they're talking about Triple H's return in Madison Square Garden 2002. They say no one's ever returned from a quad injury like this before. And it's all just to hype up his Hall of Fame induction. Backstage, Pretty Deadly are confronted by DIY as they reveal that they will face the Street Profits next week for the tag titles. So 2 title matches next week in London on SmackDown. The tag titles will be on the line when the Street Profits defend against Pretty Deadly, and the U.S. title will be on the line when LA Knight defends against Braun Strowman. DIY's like, hey, we can help you win those titles if you guarantee that we'll get the first shot. Scratch our back, scratch your back. And they're like, no, boy. And they leave. More City Machine Guns then walk up and like, having a little trouble, Pretty Deadly now, are we? Yeah. Like you said, get to the back of the line. We'll get to the back of the line with us then. Basically is all it was. We get a shot of London as they tell us what's coming up next week in London. We head back to ringside where Roman Reigns makes his entrance. Roman takes a sweet time coming down to the ring. The fans appropriately acknowledge him when he says, "Acknowledge me." He steps, where was I? They acknowledge him. He's on the, where was, no, I read this way wrong. I skipped the whole paragraph. He steps up on the apron and the crowd pops. The crowd responds kindly for Reigns and Heyman as they get in the ring. And we go to a quote-unquote break. Roman's pyro hits, and the crowd chants OTC as Heyman hands him a microphone. Yet he's wearing a YTC shirt, so yeah, your tribal chief instead of our tribal chief or original tribal chief. You can take it any way you want. Yes, tribal chief? Oh no. Anyways, Roman tells the crowd to acknowledge their tribal chief, and they respond with another OTC chant. Roman says that their OTC loves them before telling them what is on his mind. He said, last month at the Royal Rumble, CM Punk screwed me. Last week in Madison Square Garden, I screwed Punk. Last month at the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins tried to kill me. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of did with that double stomp. He's like, so, this past week in Madison Square Garden, I tried to kill Seth Rollins. Roman talks about addressing some business tonight before he's interrupted by Seth Rollins. The crowd sings this song, whoa, as he comes down to the ring. Seth is soaking it all in. He gets a microphone and tells Roman that you messed up. You messed up helping Punk. Punk is a danger to us and this entire company and industry. We should be taking him out, not helping him win matches. Rollins says, you'll see it. You'll see what I mean. He says it's always been about me and you. Saying the two of them came in this company together, but can no longer coexist. It's about time they add another chapter to this story. But before they can go any farther, look in my eyes, what do you see? And the crowd here in Italy sings Punk's song so loud. One of the bigger reactions of the night. They're going crazy for CM Punk. Punk comes down to the ring. He says, hey, Big Chief and Grimace. Because, you know, Big Chief, Tribal Chief. But then Seth wasn't wearing purple, but it's like a darker blue. Oh, yeah. I thought it was funny as shit. Hey, Big Chief and Grimace. He's like, let me get some facts out there, Big Chief and Grimace. Something like that. I thought it was funny as hell. So he addresses Roman. says Royal Rumble, something you haven't been in a while. So let me remind you, maybe you should have asked your tribal, your wise man about this. It's every man for himself. And remember, back at War Games, I helped your family out. I saved your asses in War Games. He goes, now, because of that, I'm owed a favor, but we're not talking about that right now. Instead, he says he chose instead to go after Reigns with some mounted punches on the mat. Rollins then looks on for just a moment before getting in on it, landing some shots on both men before an official runs down and tries to break everything up. They call for more security and referees and whatnot, and the three men are trying to brawl. And separately, at different times, they all point at the WrestleMania sign. So it's like, what? You want to fight each other now, but then you all take your sweet-ass time to go, Mania, fight, Mania, fight, Mania. So I don't know, whatever. Punk leaves the ring, standing up on the announce table as he addresses both men by pointing at the Mania sign. Rollins then goes back after Reigns before security pulls them apart. Rollins then goes to the apron and points to the Mania sign, saying, "Let's do it," before hitting a double drop kick on Punk. This then leads to Roman rushing after Rollins himself, grabbing a set of steel stairs and throwing them at Seth Rollins before, pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Before the show comes to a close, they're brawling all again, and we fade to black. Hyped up brawl at the end. This is really good, especially Roman throwing those stairs. He's just grabbing them, threw them right at Seth. So yeah, basically they told us here without officially telling us, and I don't think they've made the official announcement yet. We can double check on that if the triple threat is announced yet. I don't know if the triple threat is official yet. Let's see if WWE's posted anything. So technically WWE didn't post anything while the show was live. So even if they are going to announce that tonight, they haven't announced it yet because they didn't live react, tweet, whatever. So that tells us that, USA Network is king for them when it comes to SmackDown. But with that, guys, let's get the poll going here on Twitch. That's everything that took place on the 3 hours of SmackDown. Not a bad show at all. I mean, it wasn't great. It kind of lagged in the middle, but first half hour was good. Last half hour was good. Maybe first 45, last 45, whatever it was. Not a bad show, but if I was voting with you guys, I'd probably say it was just all right. Maybe I would give it a good because I like the end and the beginning. But what did you think of SmackDown? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. So as we have that poll going, let's go check the other polls and see what you guys thought of tonight's SmackDown. As far as the threads poll does go, 83% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 80% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 82% liked the show. Okay, overwhelming everybody liked this show. 15% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. As far as the live poll does go, 69% liked the show, 21% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch, 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Remember, starting early, 4 Eastern. So we're going live early as well on Netflix. You don't need the VPN. Just load it up and watch. So with that, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.